mouth. She does. It is so cute.
Really? Her whole fist? Let me see.
Go on, Wendy. Do it. Put your fist in your mouth just like you did. She's not doing it. Maybe she'll do it later.
Her whole fist, huh?
Yes, it is so cute. Wendy, come on, come on.
Now, while this may not seem like a test, it was a test. What is a test but an opportunity to exhibit the skills and knowledge what is expected to know at a set time under pressure? Testing is a given. This seal from the now slightly faded bumper sticker that we give to the mass. Tests happen. And I do not test well. Kindergarten.
Miss Fordman, I'm afraid that Wendy does not know her alphabet.
What? Her alphabet? Of course she knows her alphabet. She sings it all the time. Perfectly. Sometimes she'll sing it backwards. Or in French.
That is a much better idea than C.
Wendy, go on.
Like that double.
What's the question? Your alphabet, Wendy. Can I have a hint?
It starts with A. Don't give her a hint. Wendy, you do not need a hint. Stop chewing your hair and tell her.
Pluto.
Wendy!
Friday.
No!
And so it went. First grade.
I'm afraid that Wendy does not know how to add.
Add, she can add. She adds all the time.
Second grade.
I'm afraid that Wendy does not know how to.
What? She does it in her sleep. Wendy, stop playing with your hair and tell her.
Pluto.
Around fourth grade. The principal called my friends into her office and revealed her suspicions.
Mr. and Mrs. Fordman, Wendy is a very bright girl.
Thank you.
And polite.
Thank you.
I can see where she puts it.
Thank you.
However,
However,
Those are hateful things.
I suspect she's not test well.
doesn't test well. Are you sure?
Well, I'm not sure, so I want her to meet with a specialist to see if I'm right.
Why, I used to test well.
I'm sure you did, Mr. Fordman.
I remember this one test back in '78. I was in college then. Oh, chemistry class. Now those were tests back then, let me tell you. This one only had 4 problems on it. Only 4! But guess how long it took me.
Stuart, I'm sure.
Go on. Yes.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
6 hours. 6 hours. 6!
6, yes.
And guess how many I got right?
I really don't
Go
know.
on. Guess.
We're here to talk about
3! 3 out of 4 right.
Well, all right.
And guess how many everybody else got right?
I really don't.
Yes.
Stuart! We're not here to talk about your college test taking. We're here to talk about Wendy.
Alright. Alright. I understand. Again. Fine. Let's talk about Wendy, then.
As I was saying,
Everybody else in the class only got 2 right. Just in case you were wondering.
thank you, Mr. Fordman.
You bet.
My father is my officer. Good on tests, dumb in all other situations. I was taking the specialist. He asked me numerous questions. How do you feel right now?
What's your favorite color? Are you scared?
What do you think of this picture?
Which parent is your favorite? Which parent favors you?
What color is the yellow bird?
Are you nervous? Do you have regular bowel movements?
Do you dream of high tension wires? And since most of these questions felt a lot like tests, I often answered,
Pluto.
the result came back. Opinions varied.
The hypothalamic zone seems a bit soft. Maybe very for oral stimulation.
A symptomatic neural transition.
Let's rock you the diet. Some children are just plain stubborn.
But the conclusions were the same.
She doesn't test well.
My mother was in control.
Oh, Stuart, I'm inconsolable.
You seem inconsolable.
I am inconsolable. Why don't you help me?
Well, if you truly were inconsolable, then, well, nothing I could do.
Stuart!
Let me hug you, Pookie. There. It's gonna be all right.
She doesn't test well.
I know.
How can she be alive if she does not test well?
That's it. Let it out.
In school and life and career,
NAACPs or PDQs.
Now you're being dumb.
Sorry.
I am not stupid. I just don't test well. There is a difference. Einstein, so I've heard, scored very low on certain tests, such as the IQ. Now, when not required to exhibit my knowledge or skills at a set time under pressure, in other words, when not tested, I can be quite intelligent. Brilliant, even. I could put my entire fist in my mouth in a minute. I did know my alphabet in 3 languages, and I could add, subtract, multiply, divide, and deduce the test algorithms at an extraordinarily young age. Not to brag, but simply to make a point. My pleasure reading includes plays of Shakespeare, the studies on the geological transformations in Australia since the last ice age, and the footnotes of T.S. Eliot. I am intimate with deep thought and contemplation, so long as you don't ask. So here I am again today, taking a test, sitting between Sarah and Bob. They both test relatively well. They got Sarah with A's and Bob with B's. That's rather contradictory, of course.
Okay. So let's see. The blank of the poem encourages multiple readings. A, pejoration. B, amendment. C, rhetoric. Or D, ambiguity. A, pejoration of the poem. Consulting the poem? No. B, amendment of the poem. Material possessions of the poem? No. C, rhetoric of the poem. Well, that makes sense. D, ambiguity of the poem. Well, that makes sense too. So C or D, the blank of the poem. Multiple readings, D. Ambiguity, multiple interpretations, definitely. D is the better answer.
Essays. I hate essays. What should be above poems is better. Justify your answer. Poem A is better because it's shorter. Question 2.
Sarah intends to be valedictorian in Ted Dark. Bob intends to drive large trucks and drink heavily. Given their aspirations, they will both succeed because, among other things, they test well. I, on the other hand,
Imagination is more important.
stop it. Now, despite all the advice and the treatments of the philosophy, I know the truth. My imagination is why I don't test well. In fact, it has caused problems for a long, long time.
Mrs. Wadley, I saw a man on television who walks on his hands.
Well, Wendy, isn't that a fun thing?
If he walks his hands long enough, will his arms turn into legs and his legs grow hands?
I don't think so.
Do you think his internal organs will rearrange themselves to accommodate the changes in perspective? Like, will his intestines move closer to his mouth and his vocal cords to his bottom?
That's enough, Wendy.
I wonder if by the time he's 90, everything would be reversed. So they'd have a big toe where his thumb was and he'd have a spit on his butt. I mean, he'd have to go to the bathroom. Wendy! That's just what I imagine, Mrs. Wadley. The poster down at the guidance office says imagination is more important than knowledge.
Sometimes, Wendy, it's best to keep such imaginings to yourself.
This advice proved to be wise. I learned that my imagination was a punishable offense.
Hey guys, you know what I imagined yesterday?
What?
Yeah, weirdo, Wendy. What?
That's alliteration. You know, weirdo Wendy.
Is it like last week when you imagined the school with a giant hatching ground for super lice?
That is a possibility, though. Life is between more resistant to today's treatments.
Have you got lice, Wendy? I bet you do. What did you imagine? Wendy, Wendy, woo, woo, woo.
And that is bad alliteration. In case you were keeping track.
You know the janitor? The one who always talks to himself?
Yeah?
Well, I overheard some of the words he was saying. And he said, children, paprika, circular saw, sausage, and work gloves. And no Stacey Merkel, who had been at school for 3 weeks. So, I imagined that a couple days ago, and I put together that the janitor watched us very carefully to see who was putting on the most weight, and then snatches one of us away and cuts his face with circular saw while wearing his work gloves, and turns Mr. Bones and Guts with a paprika and turns the sausage on for lunch.
Miss Wadley!
Wendy!
I learned to internalize my imagination as a word problem. This was generally creates a generic set of saved questions that's at landing on a page.
Imagination is more important.
Not when it comes to tests. When it comes to tests, one should leave imagination at the door and only allow knowledge to enter. But this, I cannot do. Tests and all their blandness only invite my imagination. Hence, I do not test well. Let's take this test, for example. Page 3, a classic vocabulary matching section. The words in the word bank sit smugly next to their assigned letters. Smugly. I just described the words in a vocabulary test as smug. I personified them, gave them human characteristics. They are no longer inanimate blotches of ink sitting on an inert piece of paper. They are beings, arrogant beings, and I detest them for it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, come on, Wendy.
Come on, Wendy.
Isn't this just a bit much?
Isn't this just a bit much?
Aren't you taking this too far?
Are you taking this too far?
Don't you have anything better to do than to sit around?
Do you have anything better to do than to sit around?
Turning a simple
Turning a simple
test
test
into
into
a
a what?
Don't you have a mind of your own?
No.
Don't you have anything better to do than to turn a simple test into some overblown imaginative scenario that takes perfectly normal, perfectly useful, perfectly average words and turns them into arrogant, despicable creatures?
Don't you have anything better to do than to... It was mean.
And my answer to that is simply, pathetically,
No!
no.
No! I don't have anything better to do. I don't have anything worse to do. I don't have anything else to do. I have no choice. Hi, Wendy. Well, actually, I'm stuck, Wendy. But I speak for Wendy when I scream, I don't test well. I've been trying to tell you that. I don't test well because my imagination kicks in and kicks me around. No, I don't get a kick out of it because my parents would be much happier if I did test well and I don't test well. I'm trying to tell you why.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Hurt yourself?
Second tropical vocal notes.
The words in the word bank. Look at them. Listen to them. You know who they are. They're the players lined up to bat. The ones who got chosen. They make these.
That's it. How you doing?
I'm Tassel Corey. Hi.
Idiosyncratic.
Cacophony here.
Deleterious, not unaddressable.
Look at them. Hovering over the blanks in the test. Just waiting to be dropped one by one. Moving into place. And here comes the first question.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? What's the point of these blanks, huh? The blank nature of the speech also reported some difficulty identifying the main point.
That's me, the idiosyncratic nature of the speech.
Get in line, people, huh? The name's Tassel Corey, and I believe that blank was custom made for moi.
The
Tassel Corey.
nature of the speech also reported some difficulty identifying the main point. Well, I'll take that.
Oh, no, you won't.
What? What do you mean? That blank's mine.
Not anymore. You A-list word bank inhabitants think you're so special, so chosen.
We are chosen!
Sit down, you two. It just so happens that I, Wendy, stunt Wendy, have actually... Don't need to say that. I don't have to say that. I, Wendy, champion of the underdog, have actually brought in a whole new set of words.
Nobody does it but yours.
Just watch me.
Have you been there? Have you been the last one picked on the playground? Or worse, the one that picked it all? It doesn't matter the game. Kickball, dodgeball, rip the head off the barbell. It's always the same.
I pick Sammy.
I pick Josh.
I pick Rose.
I'm Norman.
They pick and they pick.
I'll take Sheila.
Lazy for me.
And that sick feeling in your stomach sinks deeper and deeper. The acid of non-acceptance burning a hole straight through your inside until you feel as though your very essence has leaked out and is pooling at the ground at your feet. That's not going to happen on my test. No.
Not my test, Bubs. Out! Out, all of you!
How about vocab words?
Not anymore.
But what about the test? left incomplete. What am I supposed to do? Go home empty?
Give me your opening.
My blank uncle never fails to amaze me with his latest set of quirks.
That's me. It's perfect for me. Idiosyncratic. Darling, I'm coming for you.
Back off.
But it's perfect.
Too perfect.
Too perfect.
Boring.
Boring.
You heard, lady. We've got a replacement. And now, pulled from the ranks of the vocabulary ignored for the annals of the perfectly good but deemed unworthy pages of the dictionary, I bring you Gosh Justified.
Gosh, justified.
Same. Don't wear it out.
My
Gosh Justified.
uncle never fails to amaze me with his latest set of quirks. You've got to be kidding me.
I think we make a lovely couple. Gosh Justified, excessively pleased and gratified. Nice, huh?
That's awful. Gosh, busted whatever. Couldn't hold a candle to idiosyncratic.
That's Gosh Bustified, Junior. Get it right.
Well, you're different
You too, don't you think? And interesting.
and interesting.
Now you're cooking. So one by one, I replaced those smart, self-accepted words with a new set of perfectly good, vastly more interesting words.
Spatula at your service.
Oh, there, I'm counting Jim. Ultra crepidate speaking.
Suddenly was once a scene of stultifying normalcy and nauseating arrogance has become a melting pot of fabulous parodies.
After the blank of the jarring words, the final soothing words leave the reader in peace.
That's me. The copy. I fit there.
Sorry, too bland. I like cats and Denver better.
What?
Sucks to be you, doesn't it?
Isn't this great? A celebration of the underdog. A story of victories by overwhelming odds. I mean, where else would a word like a spatula give a second chance, huh? Yay!
No.
Ascension in the ranks.
We are the road handlers. We're taking this test back.
No! No!
You make a point. I don't test well. Everyone around me is done. The period is coming to an end. Sarah is putting the finishing touches on her egg. Bob wrapped up his deed 15 minutes ago and has slipped into a mini coma. And I am here contemplating whether or not the word mawkish would win in a fist fight over ultra crepidate.
Imagination is more important than
Stuff it. Soon the bell will ring, the students will file out, and I will be left, contemplating yet another not finished, poorly executed test. The teacher will walk over to me sadly and say, Wendy, 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 what are we going to do with you?
Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. What are we going to do with you?
I told you so.
You only answered half the multiple choice questions.
I got caught up thinking about how much the capital letter D resembles my great uncle Herbert.
Only one of the essays done?
And that is a rambling discourse on whether or not poetry was accidentally invented by a schizophrenic king with an obsessive compulsive need to rhyme.
And what is this? My gosh, busted my uncle? That word isn't even in the word bank.
Whoops.
Wait, I know you don't test well, but honestly, what have you been doing all period?
Honestly?
Yes, I would really like to know.
Well, quite honestly, I've been narrating a play centered around my inability to test. All the students in the room, and you, were characters in the play.
Really?
You were quite good. You might want to consider a career change.
I think you might be right. Go home, Wendy.
Thank you. I will. I just have a final word for the audience. Poor woman. I give her fits. All right. Appropriately Appropriately enough, we're going to end this with a test. One question. What has all this been about? Let me guess. You knew until I asked